the opening?
This is the opening.
Oh,
Hi, I'm BLSongbird, Meta, aka BLSongbird, and this is my mom,
AV Singer.
and welcome to Editing and Coffee. And this week we're going to be reading Chapter 7 of The Cat's Out of the Bag. It should be fun. I'm laughing already, and we haven't even started.
And I'm laughing because she's laughing about it. So I'm looking forward
So
to
join us with this excellent ride, and I will, let's get to this.
Yes. Yoo-hoo! Bye-bye. Chapter 7. Book ideas. I want to write something different this time around, not another torrid romance novel. I know they sell, but they aren't helping me fight for our rights. How can I support my community? I think it's time I am brave and write a boys' love novel. I wonder if my publisher would accept it. A boy who meets the love of his life in his dreams. A vampire meets a man and falls in love. Never mind. Let's be different for once. Some kind of end of the world scenario. Like one last day together. Two best friends from childhood realize they love each other, but it's too late. Two men meet later in life and realize that they aren't entirely straight after all, and that's okay. A cat changes the lives of two men forever. You don't like him. You really don't like him. You don't. Really? What changed? Your view of him. He's not who you thought. No, he's really not.
What?
That's cool.
Hopefully the line cross-out things translate.
I hope so too, because that's exactly how it is.
Okay.
Mix stepped up to the front door of his townhouse. He felt achy all over. I'm so glad I thought of getting cold medicine when I was out. He recognized the symptoms. He knew this would happen once he had a chance to relax. There was still one more challenge to overcome between him and his bed. His whole body was on alert and ready to do battle. He knew Sam was pacing on the other side, waiting to make a mad dash toward freedom and to that man's house. He heard her trill and braced himself. There was no way he would let her get away a third time. That would be so embarrassing. He cracked the door just enough to squeeze his body through and held his shopping bag in front of him like a shield. Man, is this awkward. When did coming home become so stressful? Ha! Not gonna work this time. It seemed to work for a moment. She stepped back at the side of the shopping bag, but seemingly it wasn't enough. She was craftier and braver than he gave her credit for. She dashed under the shopping bag and squeezed right between his legs. He took a step to try to stop her. You can just say he took a step to stop her. But that just caused him to lose balance. You need to put a space there now.
Where?
Right here where your cursor is. Okay. Oh, the world tilted and he watched as the cold heart... Okay, here we go. This is the he watched again. Right, we know it's him. He's the only one there. The world tilted as the cold, hard entryway tile came toward his face in slow motion. He doesn't have to and watch at the same time. You can get rid of the whole word and. Just as the cold, hard entry tile came toward. And is it toward or towards? I think it can be either, but what would we say?
Could be either, so why?
Do you say towards or do you say toward?
I don't know.
The world tilted as the cold, hard entry tile came towards his face. The world tilted as the cold, hard entry tile came toward his face in slow motion.
Okay. Why not? Okay. Let's keep going.
It sounds better in English this way, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
He heard a crack and felt a sharp pain. Then nothing. Oh, that's not good. Mix awoke at eye level with his brand new grass green Gucci bag. Were you worth it? Okay, you have an extra space in there. Thank you. He just wanted to de-stress after his new single release and go do some shopping. He just wanted to distress after his new single release and do some shopping. Why was this his fate? The throbbing in his head became more prominent, and Mick saw a trickle of blood on the tile in front of his eyes. Oh. No, he didn't feel tears gathering.
Tears gathered.
Tears gathered.
Aww. Aye, Captain.
Aye.
Okay. Keep going.
Tears gathered.
And
comma.
Oh, today.
He couldn't do anything to stop them. I don't know that we need to end there, but you can leave it for now. Oof. He lived alone and had no idea how much time elapsed. He realized no one would worry about whether he was okay. All right, because he lived alone. Do we already know that he lived alone? I guess we must, or I wouldn't have known that, right? He could have died and been found a month later when his manager wondered why he didn't show up to work. Why would his manager show up a month later? No, he could have died and been found days later when his manager wondered why he didn't show up to work, right?
He's off for a month. He's got a month break. That was in here before. I must have been editing and deleted it.
Well, I don't remember reading it, did I?
No, I must have edited and deleted. He's on a month break from work.
All right, well, just underline that or highlight it or something so you can go back and look for that. Let's not go back now.
He could have died and been found.
Later, when his manager wondered why he didn't show up for work. Or just highlight it or something.
It's the best way to highlight it. The easiest for me is just to put a comment on it.
That's a good idea. He sat up, and the world spun around several times before settling. He touched his temple and winced. Yup, this sucked. Did his cat hate his company that much? He couldn't hold the tears back anymore. Impatiently, he brushed them aside. He stared at the rain pounding on the sidewalk. Something about cat and this rain. Or the rain just, spurs her on or something. He stared at the rain pounding on the sidewalk outside his front door. Suddenly, another gust of wind blew through the door, soaking his already damp body. Why? What have I ever done to you? He shouted at no one and everyone at the same time. His cat didn't love him anymore. His family didn't approve of his life choices and disowned him. Where did that come? He was alone. Okay, you need to put something more in here.
He's got a little rant on himself going on, obviously.
Well, make the rant a little longer and explain this family not approving of.
Bemoan his life. It's not...
Put a big question mark.
I hit the wrong button.
I don't care. Now put a question mark. Grinning? Okay, whatever. They can't see it. You put a grinning emoji over here, you guys. It's so weird. Suddenly he couldn't take it anymore. It was all Earth's fault.
It's all his fault.
It's all his fault. He knew immediately how irrational that was, but somehow, this time he couldn't bring himself to care. If Earth didn't exist, his cat would still love him. He got up and raced up the door. Ooh, the world spun around him, but it didn't matter. Poor guy. Pound, pound, pound. Mix took 4 steps back, ready to use his body as a battering ram. He charged the door, but at the last minute, it opened inward, and instead of hitting wood, he hit a solid, warm body. They crashed down in the entry of Earth's home, a tangle of arms and legs. Mick stared at the white shirt of Earth's... Mick stared at the white shirt.
Earth's white shirt. Okay.
Mick stared at the white of Earth's shirt. You need to get that extra shirt out of there. Dumbly. As if on cue, Som jumped... Oh, there doesn't need to be a paragraph here because Som's her own character. As if on cue, Som jumped on Mix's back and began kneading. Oh, now you love me. And this needs to be a paragraph too because Mix is his own character. Tears started flowing. Why do you hate me so much? What did I ever do to you? Mix tried to stop them, but they just kept coming. Why does she have to love you more? If you didn't exist, she'd still love me. And punched Earth's chest as hard as he could. Why? He braced himself to hit him again, but his fist was caught in a larger hand. Thank God. Another hand touched his back gently. When was the last time someone touched him? Slowly he began to calm down. He turned his head to the side and laid it against the warmth. He heard a beating heart, and he couldn't keep it together any longer.
He's already cracked. What am I talking about?
Oh no. You need to just do the highlighting like you always do, and
no. This time
He heard a beating heart. Period.
Sure. Well, let's.
And then just say the tears started flowing in earnest, or something like that. Tears flowed in earnest, or he openly sobbed, or something.
All right.
That is going to all be changed eventually, but you know.
Oh, really? You're like, nope, this isn't working, Beta.
Wait till I get all of it. Sam settled on his back. Sam settled on his back. Warmth radiated up from Earth's body. Sobs shook his core. Okay. Earth's hands reached as if to push him off. Mix cried even harder and buried his head in Earth's chest. He didn't even care anymore. She doesn't love me. Why doesn't she love me? Hesitant hands started to rhythmically stroke his spine. What do you mean she doesn't love you? He felt Earth's words more than heard them. She won't stay home. She always wants to be here. Earth continued to stroke his back. More time passed and reality began to settle in around them. Mix, you're kind of squishing me. Mix realized the odd position he was in and scrambled to sit. Sam jumped off his back and stared at the two of them. The door was wide open, but she wasn't dashing through it. Mix stared at her and more tears fell. She's not trying to get away from you, is what he just said. He's not trying to get away from you.
Poor guy.
I know. That's true. Earth sat up and did a double take. Your head. He reached out his hand and butt mix brushed him away. I'm okay. You don't need to worry about me. You don't like me anyway. Earth ignored him and grabbed his arm. Okay, did Earth say come on?
Yeah. Whoops. Well, I read this last night.
That's okay. That's why I'm here. He shut the front door and dragged him to the kitchen. He pushed Mix onto a bar stool and grabbed him and kicked him the cover over the refrigerator. Wow. You really don't have to pretend to care. Just say said for now. We'll come up with something. Mix said at the beginning. I know.
I feel so special.
Okay, here's something that we don't think of often, but I've really noticed this in my old writing.
Yeah.
Is that you get into the habit of putting words in the same place every single time, right? So, and if you've chosen like the beginning, Mix said, Earth said, she said, he said, and it's always at the beginning of your sentence, the rhythm gets monotonous. And so sometimes you put it at the back, sometimes you put it in the front, sometimes you put it in the middle, depending on how you want people to think about it in their heads, and you get away from that monotony. Okay, so Mix said, you really don't have to pretend to care. Earth grabbed his chin and tilted his head up. He still said nothing. Earth grabbed his chin and tilted his head up. Oh, let's leave it that way for now.
That's not right, though. Why do you say leave it that way for now?
Because I can't think of what is right at the moment. Okay, Earth grabbed his chin and tilted his head up. You know what? It's the word still. I think I just don't like the word still. Because still means not moving, right? He said nothing, or silence filled the space, or whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
Mix stared uncomfortably at his angled facial features. Black framed glasses that magnified his rich chocolate eyes. Okay, come on. Okay, now he's becoming the writer.
I mean, he's a
Okay, that's a tell and not a show. Mix isn't, whose point of view is this? Is this Mix's
point of view.
So Mix isn't going to think to himself, I'm staring uncomfortably at his angled facial features and black frame glasses that magnify his rich chocolate eyes. Okay, Mix is going to be uncomfortable. So Mix can feel uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable being this close to Earth's face. Not facial features, yeah, to Earth's face. Okay, now put a period there. And then, just think a minute. We're going to say something about he never realized how richly chocolate his eyes were, right? If you want to add that. How chocolate his eyes were.
Oh, thank you, Google.
Yeah, you're so helpful. There we go. And then you can keep going, but next sentence. Maybe it was the black frame glasses.
Maybe
Oh, I love
was
these.
the black framed glasses.
Now go back and fix maybe, just because we'll be bugged if it's not there. If we don't fix it, we'll forget. Yeah, well, that's what we meant. Thank you. Okay. A gentle hand dabbed at his temple and period. Mix winced, but didn't move. It was like he was under some magical spell. The world started spinning around him. Whoa, but he didn't care. The edges of his vision started darkening, but he just looked at Earth's face, mesmerized. His hands started to ache. Whose hands started to ache?
This is all mixed.
Why are his hands starting to
Have
ache?
you ever had a fever? For me, when I have a fever, my hands hurt first.
Wow. Okay. His hands started to ache, but it didn't matter.
But maybe I'm not normal, so what would be more normal fever tell?
Okay, let's see. When I get a fever, what do I feel like? I guess there are body aches, but I'm not specifically hand aches. Let's see.
Body started aching.
Yeah, his body started to ache.
Okay.
But it didn't matter. The dark took over, and he didn't try to fight it. So, okay, I'm confused. He had a fall.
He was getting sick before, I remember.
Oh yeah, he had a cold, right? He had a cold, and he went out and got the cold medicine, and he was glad he had the cold medicine. Okay. Mix was the last thing he heard, and then also he's got a concussion that he obviously doesn't realize he has, right?
He's just a little dazed, yeah.
Okay, and then time has passed. That's why there's that extra space there. Mix awoke and gazed at the unfamiliar ceiling. Every bone in his body ached, and he winced as Earth placed a cool cloth on his forehead. Sorry, did that hurt? Mix opened his eyes. Mix opened his mouth to make a noise. Okay. I just wrote a sentence like this in my own novel. And I really worked hard at it because you do open your mouth to make a noise. Mix
It's just
croaked.
You just realized you said you worked really hard to work on a sentence like this, and you're sorry.
And what I came up with was Mix croaked.
Alright. Oh, that's kind of funny.
Mix croaked.
More than kind of funny.
Mix croaked like a frog. There we go. Because we don't want him to croak like he died. We want him to croak like a frog. Okay, now he shook his head. Yes, and the world began to spin again. He shut his eyes. Oh, no, you don't. You have to stay awake for a minute, or you just have to stay awake, right? Because Earth must know he has a concussion by this time, right? So he has to stay awake, right? For more than a minute. Mix nodded but didn't open his eyes. He heard the door close and reopen a short time later. Sit up, Mix. He felt strong hands hold his shoulders and help him toward a sitting position. Here. Mix opened it. Okay, Mix opened his eyes to a spoon of rice porridge.
Mix. It's on the right line.
If you have a spoon of rice porridge in your face.
You say I can do it. Give me the damn spoon.
Would you say I can do it? Oh, well then have him say that. Give me the damn spoon. I can do it. Okay, right? Ay, ay, ay.
Hey, give me the damn spoon. The whole thing. I
can do it.
He whispered because, you know, he can't really yell.
He's still croaking.
Yeah, he's a croaker. If I try that sentence again, I don't think they heard you.
I don't think I did either. Okay. He lifted his hand and Earth gave him the spoon.
I knew this chapter was going to be funny, but oh goodness.
Oh God. I wonder if it was a candy spoon. Or one of those disposable spoons that you could eat, you know, like they're trying to make here now with all of the paper you can eat afterwards.
Oh, he ate the spoon. Okay. Mm-hmm.
He did. He took a bite or he took a sip. No, he took a bite of porridge, right? Oh my God. And you can get rid of the started and hacked immediately. Right?
Okay.
I shouldn't have. Oh my goodness. And hacked immediately. Okay. Oh, it felt like shards of glass going down his throat. See, that's sad. Okay. He shook his head. Who shook his head?
Still on Mix.
And he says broth?
Yeah.
So he's asking for broth.
Yeah.
Why doesn't... Okay, let's give them more here. I think maybe he should say, no, I can't eat this. Do you perhaps have any broth?
That was the shaking of his head part.
I know.
Not speaking.
He shook his head.
He shook his head no.
And pushed the porridge away.
And pushed.
Then he croaked. Then he croaked broth.
We're on the okay.
Broth? He was a bit hungry, but there was no way he could eat that. Oh, you know what? You should probably put. He shook his head no and pushed the porridge away. He was a bit hungry, but there was no way he could eat that. And then he can croak and say broth. What are you doing?
I don't know where the broth went. Oh,
The broth went right there. Oh, what did you do?
It did it by itself. I didn't do anything.
Okay, honey.
What, huh?
Then he croaked. Broth? You'll have to move then he croaked too if you're going to do that. It's turning out to be yes.
Then it's turning out to be yes, eh? Okay. Versus no.
Versus no, comma, and then put a space between there. Okay, now let's start here. He shook his head no and pushed the porridge away. He was a bit hungry, but there was no way he could eat that. Then he croaked broth. He was a bit more aware and realized this must be Earth's bedroom. He gasped. He was dry and in different clothes. He felt heat burn his cheeks. Well, and I guess did he say, well, that happened, or is he just thinking that happened? Which one is it? Because if he's just thinking, well, that happened, you can take the quotes out of there.
What is it trying to put it in present tense? Oi!
Heat burned his cheeks.
I know.
You just left it out, right? And so they're giving you a perf. He perfed his cheeks. There we go. Well, that happened. Oh, he says it because...
No, yeah, because the door
so he
reopened.
has to say it.
Yeah, it says
So
that
just
loud.
say, he said.
Oh. Okay.
Well, that happened. The door reopened. What happened? Thank you for getting me dry, Mix whispered. Earth nodded and brought the bowl to the bedside. Broth as requested. Thank you. Mix could barely get the words out. Okay, I think right here you have to say Earth took the porridge and left the room. And then a new paragraph, he was. And then you'll go and fix the later. Yeah. Or now.
This is just an unrecognized word.
Yeah, and left at the room. Okay. Earth brought not on my wake. So now Earth nodded and brought the bowl to the bedside table. Broth as requested. Thank you, Mix could barely. Thank you. We already know he can barely get the words out, so now you can just say.
We can just not. We can let
yeah,
that go.
we can just let that go. Yeah, because we know he's croaking away. He can't hardly talk. Earth nodded again. He did that a lot. He didn't say much. It definitely made Mix feel more shy than he already was. Psalm? She's fine. She had dinner. As if on cue, Psalm jumped onto the bed and settled between Mix's legs. Aw, she kneaded his thighs and purred. Earth quietly said, see, she still loves you. It was Mix's turn to nod. I know that, logically. Every word hurt more and more. He just wanted quiet. Earth seemed to understand that without saying anything. Peaceful silence filled the room. Mix slowly took in the broth. It soothed the ache and filled his stomach with warmth. Soon the bowl was empty. Earth placed 2 pills in his hands. Or just one hand. 2 pills. Why don't you just say in his right hand or something, and then that makes it specific. Earth placed 2 pills in his right hand and a glass of water in his left. Here, take these. Mix swallowed them with difficulty and placed the cup on the bedside table. I would call this a cup up here then too, because I have a vision of something that's a glass, and I have a vision of something different that's a cup. Okay, Mix swallowed them with difficulty and placed the cup on the bedside table. Thanks, sorry for the trouble. I know. Enough, don't speak. I know it hurts. Mix felt the tickle at the back of his throat. A tickle worried the back of his throat. A tickle worried the back of Mix's throat, and he coughed. Until he felt like he was going to throw up. Nope, not happening. He willed himself to stop. Earth showed up again with a lozenge, which I don't think is spelled that way. I think it's spelled with an L-O-Z-E-N-G-E. There, this should help. And then here,
Oh,
this should
that's
help.
actually out loud. What happened to my quotes? I was really into writing this. To forget quotes.
Mix nodded. The pain started to fade, and the tickle in his throat dissipated as the meds kicked in. Everything was fuzzy, which was kind of funny. Why does he say it smells good?
He buried in his head in the pillow. Smells good.
Where do you say he buried his
On the
head?
next line.
Well, smells good should be after the head burying.
Already. See, I catch on fast.
You do, comma. Oh, no, you can leave it that way. And then if you're going to do that, you can say he drifted off. Okay.
Hi.
And is that the end?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was fun. Thank you. I think that'll be kind of a good, I think that'll be good. And then everybody sees that you've already started chapter 8.
Yeah. So what did you think of chapter 7? So what did you think of chapter 7?
I like chapter 7. Chapter 7 works out really great. Yeah, I think it's a good idea that he hit his head, because obviously he needs help. Because if he had just gone over there sick and all of this happened, that would be weird.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so it's good that he had this extra head injury thing that made it imperative that he not be home alone.
There's that, yeah.
Yeah. And I messed your hair up grabbing you, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, no, so I thought it needed a catalyst of some sort.
Yeah, something to get
moving
off this I don't ever want to see you again thing.
Trend, yeah. So
yeah.
Like a story needs a catalyst. They don't happen as often in real life, but you know, that's part of what makes stories fun, is the fact that you get to add all
is that you can do that.
Yeah.
That you can create the catalyst. Exactly.
And you can make it utterly ridiculous if you wanted to, and I really wanted to make it utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
I kept charging the door. Thought it was great.
So, yes.
Who would charge a door in real life? Well, actually, Mix.
I wouldn't
Mix in this story, it fits appropriately.
But I wouldn't recommend charging the door for anybody. It's like, no, don't
That
do
might
it.
be
Don't do
painful.
it. Don't do it. It doesn't work like it does in the movies.
It'd be a really flimsy front door if it did. Nowadays, those doors are like steel frames, so yeah, not a good idea.
Not a good idea, no.
Nick saw one too many movies.
All right.
Has been editing with coffee on an end note. Our story, or my story on Friday, isn't happening this week because I have plans happening, stuff's going on. I don't have time for Jane and Pat this week. Until next week this time, guys. I promise we've got great stuff planned. Love at Echo Valley is going to go on until then. Have a good weekend.
And a great week.
Yeah.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube people.
This has been
Editing and Coffee.